report, a couple of reports. One of them was in Axios, saying that the United States gives Israel and Hamas a new proposal to extend the ceasefire deal, saying that Steve Witkoff came out with this proposal, clearly indicating that the talks in Doha that, reportedly began yesterday, failed. They did not work, or at least, both sides did not agree to them. And now Wizard Witkoff came up with another proposal. What is this proposal? He's saying another extension, but this time in return to get the aid into Gaza. See, this is what they do. They start using the aid as a bargaining chip, as a bargaining tool, right? Imagine how evil that is. The people are suffering. No food, no nothing, sky high, everything sky, no medicine, no medicinal equipment, nothing. Healthcare equipment, everything. Let alone the people living in tents and what have you. They're using the misery of the people as a negotiating thing. But what is Witkoff saying? Now he's saying, we will have the phase 2, but listen, we need you to release at least 5 alive prisoners of war, including some bodies, on the first day that this ceasefire agreement takes place, and then 5 more in the end, on the final day. What in essence are they trying to do here? What they're trying to do is basically grab as much as possible on the first day so that they can do whatever they want the next day. That's what they want. And the Palestinian resistance already, they did not appear to be accepting any of this, by the way. And I highly doubt so. Because, we're talking about a phase 2 and the same number of days, but why should they release everyone on that first day, right? We saw how many times Benjamin Netanyahu started to drag and cancel certain things and take a step back, all of that. We've seen that. So why should the Palestinian side accept that when they know that Benjamin Netanyahu has the capacity to backtrack? Israel reportedly accepted what the United States is saying, meaning that they're both trying something evil as usual. But it doesn't look like the Palestinian side, although there is no official confirmation yet, it doesn't look like they accepted it so far. And that was the second thing that I want to talk to you about. Moving on to the next subject. This is very, very interesting. The Trump administration, we've heard statements that, are 180, a total opposite to the general statements. And it seems like there's a lot of conflict internally in the Trump administration. So Donald Trump, his administration, initially offered a deputy intel job offer to Daniel Davis. Daniel Davis is a critic of Israel. And Daniel Davis, he also, speaks regularly. I think he has a YouTube channel as well. He criticizes the United States approach of, the war in Ukraine. And he previously said that the United States is misleading the people on the war in Afghanistan. Many things against the official United States narrative. He opposes the U.S. wars as well. And this is him, for those of you who don't know him, that's Daniel Davis. Opposes wars, criticizes Israel, and during many, conversations that he had in the media, he actually said, no, Israel actually is conducting, ethnic cleansing inside of Gaza. So, this is a part of an interview that I just wanted to share with you guys, with him, just to let you know his views.
And kill all of the Hamas people and you kill tens of thousands of innocent Palestinians in the process, all you're going to be doing is building up more insecurity if you're in the future, because those people will want revenge, etc. Now then, that's has been playing out so far. So if Netanyahu is not successful at getting all of these Palestinians removed and basically ethnic cleansing, then they're going to be left with, then what do you do? Because the Palestinian people are still in miserable conditions right now. And believe me, the last thing that they are interested in is just having peaceful coexistence inside of a new prison going forward. So there has to be either some kind of political settlement to where the Palestinian people have some kind of hope for freedom, or I'm afraid we're going to stay in this bleak cycle.
You know, and
So that's Daniel Davis. And of course, the reason that I gave you just this clip is just to let you understand his positions and his views when he talks about Israel and when he talks about Gaza and the conflict in general. And the man, if I'm not mistaken, is a veteran. He served previously in the U.S. Army. He criticized the war in Iraq, and he spoke against the United States intervention in wars across the world. Very critical. And he said that the United States was misleading the world, misleading the American public primarily. Yeah, Jimmy's saying Daniel is a former colonel. Thank you so much, Jimmy, for that. I haven't got into his resume. To be fair, I was reviewing some of his videos just to kind of understand his position. But I did read out somewhere that he was in Afghanistan at one point, if I'm not mistaken. But thank you for that. And then he also had he speaks more about Ukraine and about Russia, but he also, he voiced his criticism against the war in Gaza and the Israeli genocide and ethnic cleansing, like he said. All of a sudden, he's appointed as the deputy head of the biggest spy agency inside of the United States. Now, before we get into the actual results, which is taking it back, right? They took it back. They decided, no, we're not going to keep him in that position. We have to give it to another person. Why did they appoint him in the first place? This is the biggest question. How can the United States appoint someone in that position in the United States if they are a critic of Israel? That's a very big question. Usually these top senior positions, you have to be, you have to pledge allegiance to Israel. How comes? Clearly, there are people in the administration who do not really see eye to eye with the official-like approach, especially in relation to Israel. And that's why they appointed him. However, then it went through one of the Trump administrators, and all of a sudden, they pulled back on the offer. So we had this report saying that he has been pulled out amid mounting opposition for his criticism to Israel. Now, here they're saying in Politico that the administration not publicly confirmed the decision to appoint Davis, but it was confirmed to Politico by Virginia Senator Mark Warner, the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee. Again, it could be a leak, by the way, to hinder his appointment. Like Israel leaked the information about Adam Bowler meeting with Hamas to try and reach an agreement without Israel before it began to take, before it began to be very productive, to make it fail. So that could be the reason. However, what's for sure is that, there's a change. There are certain changes and there are differences inside of the administration of Trump. And that's why sometimes it's a little bit confusing to understand where things are going with them. Even with Trump himself, even when they started to push Israel to, for example, to accept the ceasefire, then all of a sudden Witkoff tells Israel, oh no, the hell that Trump spoke about it includes you. So clearly there are differences. There's an internal battle there in the United States administration, and not everything is clear, especially with the relation to Israel.